Good morning. It's 50 degrees. So it's a little cold, but we're gonna go fishing and see what happens. Let's go. Hopefully we can get into them today. I kind of like the cold weather sometimes. I think it turns these fish on after a long hot summer, so we'll see. All right, let's do it. We gotta get this boat hooked up.
Big piece of ledge rock. Is that a fish? Whoa, bear. Hear a light tap, all right?
Yeah, he's all right. I don't need a net.
Broke the ice, right? Anyways. You give him a pig and jig?
Yeah. Jigging.
Jigging. Nice,
All
nice, nice. Right in our spot, right? Don't get any better than that.
The fighter.
Nice. Don't get any better than that, right? That's the spot
Yeah.
we found.
He fought like he's twice his size.
Yeah.
He's a little guy.
Nice little guy, though.
Yeah. Yeah, he fought really good. When he first hit that, I was thinking, oh, this might be a... Like when I first felt him, he felt like he was dug in.
Yeah.
But he fights up a weight class. That's good.
And Dia Rod had a nice sweep in it, you know.
Yeah. The Tatula. There's not a lick of wind.
No.
And the thing starts spinning back and forth. It's corn fused.
Corn fused.
You want to move our spot a little, or?
Yeah, if you want. This rock's coming up right there.
I mean, if there's no fish.
Trouble is, the rocks are there, the fish aren't.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you want to catch rocks. Which is alright, I guess. I mean, it's part of it kind of makes sense because we're so specific with the rods and stuff too now.
I got a nice one from a guy I caught at the reservoir, and he took off, threw his reel down, a rod and reel, and took off.
Oh yeah, that'll work.
He was running down the hill, and I yelled to him, "You better stop, I'll let the dog go." And he stopped for a second. He said, "Oh, fuck you," and took off.
Yeah. Me and Josh did that one time.
Did you?
We were at Elmcrest. And there was people in a building. There was like 4 kids in a building.
Yeah.
And it started fucking downpouring. So we didn't want to, you know, have to get out. But we could hear them in the building, so we didn't want to have to walk around and whatever. And Josh goes, he's yelling inside the door, and he says, you know, something along the lines of, "You guys don't come out, we're going to let in the canine." And then we both started, "Arr, arr." And you could hear them inside. And they fucking come running out in the pouring rain. And then they were looking at us like, you know, where the hell is this dog?
And we're nowhere. He's hiding right over there.
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly. That cracked us up. We still talk about that.
Nobody wants to fuck with a dog.
No, I wouldn't either. Are you kidding me?
111. There's a lot of rock to your side, to your left. Boy, this fucking area's got the potential, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Again, what I don't like about this hummingbird, unless I don't know how to use it, is there's no scale.
I don't think there is.
That's bullshit. Are those rocks 15 feet out or 45 feet out? You know?
Right. Well, basically what you have to do is, whatever our side scan set at 100 feet.
Yeah, bring it down, I guess.
No, you just reduce the water depth. So if we're in 20 feet of water, then we're only seeing 80 feet of bottom to our left and to our right. So, and then you just kind of have to try and split the screen yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Halfway is 40, quarters 20.
I wouldn't have to bring a fucking calculator with me.
A tape measure.
I would have bought a goddamn Garmin.
Yeah, exactly.
There's this drop shot has it.
Yeah, I think it's just we're not on fish.
111, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Try moving towards that. Boy, all this, look at the freaking rock. Shit.
That's why we marked it. There's definitely structure, whether or not the fish are on it right now. I'm coming off a spot lock. So we'll drift a little here and then
Alright.
try and find it again with the trolling motor. Found him.
On a drop shot, huh?
Yep. All right, little buddy. I'm gonna let you go.
What do you got on a bait right for a drop shot? Just a little straight tail guy?
Yeah. Little green pumpkin color. It's a good feeling. You drive over something, you see it, you come back on it, and you.
Well, that's what I liked about this morning when we.
Yeah.
That spot we found. I used to do that with the big boat a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Some guys focus all deep water.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you like to think you have bigger fish, you know?
Yeah, potential. Small fish or something, but I'm getting bummed for sure. There's fish underneath us. There's a lot of fish underneath us.
Is there?
I'm seeing arches moving up and down on the screen. And I'm feeling bumps, but it's probably perch. If you've already watched this far, you've probably noticed that there wasn't a lot of fish caught today. I don't know what the deal was, but we caught like 3 fish. My dad caught the biggest fish, and of course I didn't get it on film. I didn't have my chest mount on, so I couldn't really figure out how to get that on film that quick. I caught 2, both were small. Anyways, there is something I've wanted to do for a while now. That's like a tackle dump. I don't know if dump is the right word, but I've been buying some stuff and I got it all in the bags, and I wanted to show you what I've bought and why I've bought it. So let's check out what I've got. gonna be honest, when you look at it like this, it's a little embarrassing. But if you fish, you get it. There's a lot of stuff here. All right, let's organize this a little bit and we'll go from there. All right, so you can probably see I like Z-Man. I think they just have an awesome product. It's a bait that you can fish literally days in a row, catching dozens and dozens of fish on the same bait. So I've got the bugs, the TRD bugs. I like the craws. I got a bunch of different colors, and then just the TRD, the Finesse turds, right? The little guys like this. I got a bunch of them. There was a sale, and I'll load it up. So I think all these are gonna go in the same bag. So that's part of the reason why I bought some of these Bass Mafia bags, the money bag. Do one of those, get rid of that. I think all my Z-Man stuff is going to go in the same bag. That makes sense to me. Try and keep it all together. I know they make binders for these, but I also got more in the boat. I think I'm gonna need a bigger binder, so hopefully this bag kind of takes place of a binder. This is one of my favorite baits, and you can see it's already been opened. It's the Smoky Shad Minnow. Minnows, ends with a Z. I've been fishing on a ball head, and I'll show it to you right now. If I can open it, all thumbs. So this has been awesome. Smallies, largemouth, everybody's been liking that lately. Just been fishing on a little ball head. I think it's a 1/4 ounce ball head. It's nothing special, but it's absolutely been crushing fish. So that's been hot. I've got it in a few different colors. The Houdini, the Smoky Shad. I know I've got some more in here. Smoky Shad's been the deal lately, so get yourself some Smoky Shad Z-Man minnows. Try those out. I like the TRD hogs, another good bait that I've been using a bunch. The black and blue has been awesome. You know, I just got a bunch of different colors. The Razer Shads, these are an awesome bait to put on like the back of a spinner bait or a chatter bait. The tails on these swim awesome, and it doesn't need a lot of like force. You don't have to crank hard, you don't have to reel hard. So even on like the back of a jig, if you want to kind of swim jig, this is great. Like I said, on the back of a spinner bait and on the back of a chatter bait. The Razer Shad from Z-Man is going to be awesome. This is pearl. It's nice. It's just white. What do I have here? The Deal. That's the color. It's called The Deal. Kind of nice. Looks natural. All this Z-Man stuff, like I said, going right in here. These little beavers, it's kind of like the Reaction Innovations whatever, they have the kinky beaver and they have all their variations. Z-Man calls it a TRD bug, bugs with a Z. Bama bug, this color is great. I'll show it to you, get you the close up. And I've got my chest mount on, but I don't have my GoPro on. And I might show some stuff to you with that. But that's a good color right there. And the size of the bait, for me, is awesome. Look at that. That is a bag of Z-Man right there. So like you can see these here, these are Euro Tackle. I met the owner of Euro Tackle a few years ago, and I'm sorry I can't remember his name right now. And I hope he doesn't watch this and think I'm an idiot. But I bought a bunch of stuff from him. Then he also hooked me up with some prototype soft baits. And ever since then, I've been trying to support the dude. He's really nice. He fishes local tournaments that I fish. This year, there hasn't really been any of those because of the Rona. But he makes these really finesse style crankbaits. So this is a suspending jerkbait. Very, very tiny. But I mean, you can't tell me a smallmouth doesn't want to eat that, right? If that thing's suspended over him. And then this is a little tiny crankbait. So it's called the Z Cranker. It's 1.5 inches. I think that's like maybe just the bait. I don't know if it probably doesn't include the bill, but it's a 1.5 inch bait. It's the Z Cranker. These are great. These haven't been opened. I opened another pack They're awesome. You got to fish them on a light rod. That's obvious with a lot of this stuff. Here's another bait that is fire. Everybody talks about this. This is the Dark Sleeper from Mega Bass. I got a bunch of them. I have a bunch of different colors. What I've been enjoying for a color is right here. What's it called? Let me see if I can find it out. Hannah Haze. Hannah Haze. This has been great. Mega Bass, Dark Sleeper, Hannah Haze. This is the 1/4 ounce. I think I got all of these in 1/4. Maybe I got 1 3/8. A little heavier one. That's the Dark Shad. But these are great. This is another bait that you can kind of fish however you want. So you can just swim this bait in. You can fish it like a jig, bounce it. You can fish it in the weeds because the hook is hidden on that back fin of the bait. So you can fish this thing through weeds easy. I've done it. This is a great bait. This is another bait that you can fish like all day and it doesn't get destroyed, and you can just keep fishing it and keep catching more fish on it. They're a little bit expensive each, but you know, you get what you pay for sometimes, right? So you're gonna be able to fish this for a while. I had a really good day fishing rage tails, and specifically the, I think this is Okeechobee. Yeah, Okeechobee Craw color. So this has got like a coffee scent in it. I don't know if that matters. I love coffee. Maybe the bass love coffee. I've got them in a couple different colors, but this Okeechobee Craw, it's like blue and green. It's got a blue fleck on one side and like a black fleck on the other side. But this has been an awesome bait, and I've been fishing it in areas where I see bluegill. So if you see bluegill, maybe it's a good idea to throw a blue bait, right? The bass are probably feeding on small bluegill. That doesn't look like a bluegill to me, but I guess bass aren't as smart. Humans went to the moon. But this bait has been awesome. That's why there's not a lot in this package. I bought this like a week ago. I've been fishing it a lot. I caught some bass, or one bass, in another video that I put out. That was a slow day, but the only bites I got were on this bait, and I fished a bunch of different stuff that day. So these are Rage Tails by Strike King. 3-inch, I think? Yeah, 3-inch. And then this is another bait that's pretty close to that, and that's why I kind of got it in the same area. This is just a Ned Bomb from Missile Baits. This is a Goby color. It's another small bait that you can fish Ned rig. I guess you could fish it Texas rigged. If you wanted to, you'd have to go really small, like a 2-aught hook, I guess. I like these on the Ned, and I'm going to show you what I've been using. So I love Z-Man, right? You can tell I love Z-Man. So I bought these Z-Man Finesse bullets, and I liked the idea that it's like a wide gap hook, but yet weedless. Most wide gaps are weedless, right? So this is weedless, wide gap. I got 5th ounce, I got 6th ounce, I got some 10 ounce. These are both 5th ounce. Here's some more here, right? So I've been fishing those a bunch, and I've liked them. I like the way they fish. What I don't like is my hookup ratio is 100% being affected by these. And I don't like saying that because I like Z-Man, and obviously I support them. And I love VMC, that's who makes the hooks on these. But for some reason, my hookup ratio is not as good with these. And I've been looking for something that I could fish a Ned rig, weedless. I love weedless, you gotta love weedless, right? And what I found on Amazon are these. These are called Shroom EWGs. They're from hfdepot.com. I bought them on Amazon. I bought a bunch of them. Let me get my other GoPro here. Strapped in here. Strapped up, ready to act up. Shroom EWG HF Depot. So I bought these in a bunch of sizes. 3/16, I got 3/32, I've got 1/4, I got an 1/8 ounce, I've got 1/4 ounce. I already said 1/4, I got 5/32, a bunch of different colors. That's a different Ned head. These have been great. I have nothing else to say about them. My hookup ratio is very consistent, that if I get a bite, I'm gonna get hooked up. These are, I think, I wanna say like $4.99 a pack. You get 3 Ned heads per pack. I think it's worth it. Check these out on Amazon. The shipping is pretty quick with these guys. They have a bunch of different colors. You can see I've got a few colors here that I've been working with. But check them out. The hookup ratio is great. I think they use a VMC on these. Yeah, this is a VMC hook as well. But for some reason, these compared to the Z-Man Finesse bullets, like I've literally fished, had like 3 fish on that I've lost using the Finesse bullets, switched over to these, and then for the rest of the day, every fish, 100% landing, hookup, all that. So I'm kind of leaning towards these. That's why I've got a bunch of packs. I actually just ordered a few more packs from Amazon, so hopefully those come in. I got a bunch of the smaller ones, the 1/8 ounce, the 3/32 ounce. They cast great, they fish great, they're weedless, they're sharp. What else do you really need, right? And these are going to be awesome for fishing like all of those Z-Man baits. The bugs, the TRDs, everything that's like a smaller bait, like a Z-Man, anything you want to fish, Ned rig. And you could even fish this kind of like a ball head, so like a swim bait if you want. I mean, it's not going to be the same exact presentation, but it's going to be close and it's going to be weedless, so you got to kind of decide what you're looking for. I'm going to put all those in this little bag here, try to keep them a little bit organized, and I'll put anything like Ned rig, Ned head right in there, including those Z-Man Finesse bullets, like I said, which I'm not crazy on them. That's just me being honest. If I had to choose, I'm going with these Shroom EWGs every day and twice on Sunday. So what else did I get? Rains. If you haven't tried Rains baits, these things are awesome. They're so soft. You put them in the water, they move like crazy just because of how soft of a bait they are. I really, really like this one. That's why it's open. It is a ring craw, I believe they call it. Yeah, 2.5 inch ring craw. This on one of those little EWGs is great. The fish is awesome. The smallies absolutely love it. They destroy it. I think these have a scent in them. Let me see. Yeah, they stink. So that's good. This is the green pumpkin and blue. It's green pumpkin with a blue fleck. I think they look great. And they've been fishing awesome. I got a bigger size as well, the 3-inch ring craw. From the 2.5 to the 3, it's a pretty drastic difference, I think. So I don't have the 3s opened yet, so let's do that. So this is the 3, right? That's a pretty big bait. Look at that. And I'll put the 2.5 next to it just so you can see. Everything about it's bigger. The body's bigger. It kind of almost seems like their sizes are not correct, but who cares? One's bigger, one's smaller, right? So figure out which one you want to fish and put that one in the water and go catch something with it. But these are great. Like I said, they move a ton. You can see it's just a very, very soft bait, but yet they're pretty sturdy as well. I've fished these for a while. That's something that I definitely take into account. I have Kytex here, which I absolutely love Kytex because they're soft and they swim awesome. But like everybody knows, you might go through a pack of Kytex, like 10 baits, and only catch 5 fish because they'll literally rip just from casting. After a while, they'll start to rip and get soft. And listen, I love Kytex, but durability-wise, they're not as great. These Rains have been awesome. Obviously, Z-Man, Elastec, that is like their deal. Is we're gonna make a bait that's gonna last longer, and you're gonna be able to fish more, and you're gonna be able to catch more fish on the same bait. What else did I buy? I bought some line, Berkeley Vanish. I've been fishing Vanish for years. This is 12-pound Vanish. This is 6-pound, and this is another spool of 12. So I always fish Vanish fluorocarbon as my leader. 12-pound is pretty consistently what I use for crankbaits. 6-pound, 8-pound is what I use for Ned rigs, for worms, sometimes for jigs. Sometimes I'll go up to a 12-pound depending on where I'm fishing. So if it's a lot of rock, I'm probably going to fish a 12-pound leader for jig. If it's not a lot of rock, I'll go down to a 6, but It all kind of depends on what I'm fishing. With a jig, I tend to set the hook a little harder than I need to on a Ned rig. So it's another thing you got to think about. I mean, you break a couple fish off easy, you know, from that hook set. Definitely move up a little bit with your leader size. What else? I got some hooks, some terminal stuff. You know, 3Os from Mustad. I really like their hook. They have a great hook. VMC, obviously I like VMC. VMC's got an awesome wide gap. And then they have a swim bait hook, which I really like. This is a 4O. It's got a spring, so you screw your bait onto the spring, set the hook, keeps it weedless. And then I've got some Gamakatsu, same thing. This is a weighted swim bait hook as well. You know, just more tackle. Oops, I got one here. That's a VMC wide gap. Look at these. These are kind of cool, right? This is just a drop shot weight. Found them at a local hardware store. And you can always use some extra weights, so I got some of them. They're kind of neat colors, earthy looking, green, brown, tan. I don't know, all right. I got round ones and then the cylinder size. Quarter rounds, 3/8. They're gonna work, they'll be fine. More swim bait hooks. These are 5/0, so just for a little bit bigger of a bait. I already showed you the Kytex, I'll throw those over there. These are Jackal Rhythm Waves, 2.8 inch fish, basically, right? So these are kind of like the Kytex, and that's why I had them together, except the Jackal's gonna be more durable. Not lying. I like Kytex, I love Kytex. The Jackal's gonna be more durable. That being said, the Kytex, the tail is gonna be a little softer, so kind of figure out what you're looking for. If you're going on a drop shot, I would probably fish these because you just need that smallest amount of action on a drop shot. You're kind of forcing the action. You're bouncing that rod tip with a drop shot. So I kind of tend to go with the Jackal on the drop. We got some bobber stops. That's not interesting. Got a couple crankbaits here. So I got a DT16. This is a great crankbait. It's going to dive to, that's what DT means, DT16, so it dives to 16-foot water depth. That's all dependent on, you know, how long of a cast you make, what kind of line you're using, how quickly you reel the bait back to the boat. It's all dependent, but this is just a good bait, and I think this is on sale, and it's a bluegill color. And like I said, this year I've been kind of keying in on schools of bluegill and catching bass there. That's why that Rage Tail from Strike King has been great in that Okeechobee Craw color because it's got a bunch of blue in it. This is just a little Rapala BX, the Brat, the 6-foot. It's a red color, so it's totally opposite of the blue, but kind of looks like a crawfish, and this was on sale as well, so I threw it in a box. You can never have too many. You can bounce off the top of the rocks. And then I got another shallow wrap. This is one of my absolute favorite smallmouth baits. This is the 4 to 8. It's the SDRD-11. It's a Rapala Shadow Wrap Deep. It's a jerk bait. It's slow sinking. I don't know what color this is. Let me see here. Yellow perch. Oh, yeah, duh. That looks like a perch, right? So that's another thing. I've been finding perch and bluegill schools. So a perch bait makes sense because if bass are feeding on perch, then I should throw something that looks like a perch. That's a great bait. I have this in a bunch of different colors. I've got some of, it's just like a whitish color. I don't know the color name, but just kind of natural looking, looks like a shad. Smallmouth, absolutely love this bait. Winnipesaukee, Candlewood, all these northeast lakes. This thing is hot. These kind of baits are great, so pick some of these up if you can. And then just a local tackle shop, Frank's Bait and Tackle, which is in Marlborough, Connecticut, which is the town over. The dude pours some baits, and I like supporting the local guy as much as I like supporting the big guy, so I'd actually rather support the local guy. So I got some like piggin jigs. It's just a tail for the end of a jig. A few different colors. They're salted, some are not. And then some craws, which actually I've caught some fish on these craws that he has. It's this is the brown craw. You can see it here. I'll film it on this GoPro. I also was using a black and blue, which is not here. But I've caught fish on them, so that's great. I like supporting a local guy, and if I can catch some fish on his baits, that's even better. And I'll probably buy a couple more next time I drive by there. So that's it. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know this is a little different than what I normally do, but it's something I've wanted to do for a while. I've had a bunch of this new tackle. I don't know if I explained why I have everything as well as I could have, but if you fish, you probably get it. You understand what you like to fish, and this is just kind of an overview of what I like to fish lately. It kind of, you know, it varies from year to year, but this year a lot has been finesse focus for me. It's kind of all been on a spinning rod. You know, I fish my crankbaits and stuff like that on my bait casters, but really I've been focused a lot on smaller baits, finesse presentation, and tried to show you what I was fishing today. Hope you like it. Sorry there wasn't a lot of fish in this video actually caught, but maybe this kind of gave you a little different side of how I like to fish, what I like to do, and hopefully you'll check out the next video. I'm going to try and come out with some more stuff. Work has been absolutely crazy lately, and the weather has been, you know, not ideal for fishing. It's been really, really hot. Then actually some of the lakes have been closed, like Candlewood, the biggest lake in Connecticut. The state closed down the public launches because apparently if I go fishing on that lake, I'm going to give somebody coronavirus on the middle of a lake that's, you know, spread out through like 4 towns, and it's huge. Yeah, so fishing's been difficult. The really good lakes are kind of off limits. I'm going to try and make a trip up north to maybe Winnipesaukee before the good season is over and before I'm really focused on kind of hunting. That's what happens to me every year. By like middle of October, the rods are going away and it's strictly focused on hunting whitetail. So anyways, hopefully I can get some more fishing videos out to you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed looking at some of the tackle I got. Thanks for watching if you stuck around this long. I know it's kind of dragging on, but I don't know. I can talk when I'm talking about something I like. So thanks. See you later. Have a good one.